Good morning. Let's do sports now on the AM show with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They are still hopeful of winning this year's Ghana Premier League after a 3-1 victory over bottom place Kotoko Royals. The Porcupines, who were prior to that game placed 8th on the league log, moved to 4th position, just 6 points behind leaders Midiama SC, who sit at the top of the Premier League table with 53 points. And following that success, head coach of the team, Abdullah Ghazali, says that they are in contention to still be Ghana Premier League champions. Let's take a look at the highlights before we hear from Ghazali.
Game underway. A Japan's corner to the near post. Great save from Frank Boateng to deny Kotoko the opener. Play switches to the right. It's a good ball to find a fuck-up. First time pass. Chance for Asante Kotoko. Infege stays onside and he opens the scoring for Asante Kotoko. The Porcupines in the lead under 10 minutes. It's just 7 minutes and it's Kotoko Royals nil. Kotoko 1. George Infege was just spot on. Great awareness. First it was a Fuaka who flicked it. It was returned by the centre back. Then Safutela finds Infege, makes no mistake and puts Kotoko through. Wilson finds Mohamed Zakari. He's got Jiko, tries to go all by himself. Idea was good, but they weren't on the same page in terms of communicating. Fawaz. Zakari loses possession. Safutela finds Infege. Can he get a second? And Infege doubles Kotoko's lead here. In Deu is Kotoko Royals nil. Asante Kotoko 2. A double for Infege. Good pass to find Infege. Lovely control and a brilliant finish. Shaibu to take it for Kotoko Royals. Shaibu swings one in and Kotoko have one back. Kotoko Royals have put one back. Kwabna Wilson and his charges are back in it. It was always going to be him, Richard Jiko. Here's Asma. He's got a good whip on the ball and Asma's cross met by Boateng. Here's Jamina and he makes it 3-1 for Kotoko. Rocky Jamina 3-1 now for his third of the season in his maiden Premier League campaign. Intelligent play from Lamte to find Asmat. I was telling you about the quality that Asma has got behind his crosses. Keeper failed to deal with it and Jamina punishes. There he goes. Julian Nunu brings proceedings to an end here.
I think this particular match is a motivation match to us because it's an assurance that we assure each other, both the technical team and the playing body, that the last 4 matches we are not going to drop even a single point. And this one is a motivation to us to go back and get that particular 3 maximum points. I know Caldera 2 is a good side. They are also troublesome. But all the same, we have time to prepare again. We want to bring the supporters back into the stadium and we are going to do the right things. We are going to put the right things in place, get the right system that we can use to also get that particular 3 points next week.
Final question. With these 3 points back, are you still in contention for the Premier League title?
Oh, for sure, because when you look at the table now, we are now in 4th place. Looking at the table, we have come to the 4th place, and I think if we are able to pick this 9, the 3 games in addition, it will be 12 points, hoping that at least any of those who are at the top there will drop either 1 point or 3 points. We can still make it up.
Now let's talk the leadership of Ghana Football Association. A president of the football governing body, Kurt Okereke, says that the task that was given to him to be executed by members within the football governing body has been fully achieved. Speaking to Super Sports Julius Bewa, he says that he's achieved the mandate that was handed him.
I'm very happy about what we have achieved, and I think that the executive committee, my good self, have worked not over 24 hours a day, but perhaps 25 hours, 26 hours a day, just to ensure that we deliver on our promise to fix the fundamentals at this point in time in their football calendar.
But do you think that you've achieved what you set out to do, or the manifesto that brought you to power to say?
So normally I would not even want to look at the manifesto, because if it's about ticking the boxes, i.e. on the provisions of the manifesto, I think we have achieved. But I think we have done more beyond the manifesto. Some of the things that we have been able to deliver to our football people has been special and amazing. That's not to say that we are wholly complete. There's a lot more work to be done for our game, because I belong to that school of thought that for those footballing products that we enjoy on TV from European markets, we should be in a position to also deliver same for our people in our country. And this is what inspires me a lot. What that means is that even though I would want to say that we've done very well, I still believe that there's a lot more work that has to be done.
More work to be done by the president of the Ghana Football Association. This year is an election year, and many aspirants are likely to show up to be contesting Keto Kreku for the position of president of the Ghana Football Association. Well, earlier this year, we had heard from former captain of the Black Stars, Stephen Appiah, who says that it's about time former footballers take charge of governance of football in the country. However, there appears to be some disagreement from the head of player relations of Professional Footballers Association of Ghana, Yusuf Chipsa. He says that you have been a former player does not guarantee you or does not give you the knowledge to be able to govern the sport in the country. According to him, former players must educate themselves to be able to compete and govern football in Ghana.
Ex-footballers or former footballers are still investing in football. They are still following football. They still have the passion in football. They work with football. So as for the possibility, we cannot rule it out entirely. I cannot speak for anybody, but I'm trying to generalize everything. As long as ex-footballers are still involved in football and they have the passion, and I mean, there could be the possibility that one day one former footballer would pop up to lead
the association.
The association. But then we also have to know that if you want to become an FA president, there's a procedure that you need to follow. You can't just wake up one day and say you want to become an FA president just because you're a former footballer or just because you've played football before. The football is a sport governed by rules and regulations. The football house over there has its own constitution and statutes. So if any person, any ex-footballer, former footballer has the ambition or wants to lead the association sometime in the future, then the person might as well start learning or start preparing him or herself as to how to become an FA president. You know, it's not an easy task. It's not. I mean, it requires more than just being a former footballer. But of course, there is the hope and there is an opportunity for any of the ex-footballers or one of us to lead the union one day.
You have got deep knowledge, football governance, football marketing, everything. Do you have such ambitions?
For now, I'm focused on something. I haven't thought of that yet, but I mean, you can never say never. You never know tomorrow. So whenever my instincts or my body tells me, oh, there is time for this, why not? But for now, I'm focused.
On something. What is that thing?
With the PFAG.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the Baby Jet Under-16 tournament, a competition that has been put together by former Ghana captain Asamoah Gyan to unearth the next generation of football talents. This time around, about 32 teams will be competing for the ultimate honor of lifting the trophy. My colleague Lawrence Bedu was there and put together this report.
32 teams will from June 6 compete for honors and hope to produce the next big star to emerge from the Baby Jet Under-16 African Football Tournament. The event, which was first held in 2018, has seen the emergence and development of some football talent in Ghana, of which Dundee United's Matthew Enim Kujo was identified in the maiden edition. This year's tournament takes a different twist from what has been a signature event organized by the Asamoah Gyan Foundation over the years to give a platform for youngsters to showcase their talent. In addition to teams from Ghana, several others outside the country are expected to be part of the 32-team tournament, which will be staged at the Cape Coast Stadium. Teams from Togo, Nigeria, Benin, and Ivory Coast have all been extended invitations to participate in the tournament. Speaking at the launch of the event, Asamoah Gyan revealed the decision to factor in other countries in the sub-region.
Our goal is to win the World Cup one day, for Africa, and that is why we extended it to our sub-regions, our neighboring countries to come perform. When we have this strong foundation, it will benefit the whole of Africa. It doesn't mean we are doing this in Ghana, so only Ghana has to benefit. Although we're helping these young ones to achieve their dream in football, but it's for the benefit of Africa.
Sami Enim Adu, who doubles as the manager of Gyan, talked about the special inclusion in this year's edition of the Baby Jet Under-16 tournament.
This time we are going to have time with the legends, where you have the legends mentoring these boys, giving them all the advice they deserve to have, what they will never get anywhere. You can see the legends here, all of them will be there with the boys. Apart from them, there will be a career grooming session to where some renowned personalities like the chairman of KGL Foundation, Dr. Tiusai, also of Linda and Henry and Linda Foundation, other renowned established personalities, even including a former player who played and now he's a doctor lecturing in the UK. He will also be there. And then we are also expecting other resource persons, including some personalities from the country who will be part of the program, where we will add value apart from the football that the boys will play. And then the other thing too is that is going to be on the international platform, where SuperSport and other international media houses like yourselves will also be there to cover, to let the whole world see these boys.
In attendance at the launch of the competition were former Black Stars players including Stephen Appiah, Lai Kenson, John Pentel, Neo Datelamti, and Anthony Bafo. GFA Technical Director Bernard Lipe was also present to offer support. The tournament is set to commence on June 6 with a closure slated for June 13.